Arts has been something I've been involved with my entire life. I think that arts gave me a life. It didn't save my life. I know a lot of people say things like that, but it gave me a life. I think anytime that you can have an experience where there's something that you think of in your head and then you can bring it into existence through the creative process is an incredible thing to teach children, and it's an amazing thing to know as an adult that you have the power to create, that you have the power to make something out of nothing. And I think that the arts also taught me the value of excellence, what it means to be the best at what you love doing. So, and that has affected my entire life. It has shown me what it meant to be excellent in anything that I do and everything that I do. That creative process, it's all up to me, and that all I needed to do was harness all of that power and all of that creativity and all of that energy, and I could make anything happen. So I think that that's why arts is so important, because it teaches people that they have the power to change their lives, to change their community, to change the world. And so that is why it is important to advocate, because talent is the great leveler. Talent doesn't matter where you come from, how much money you make, what language you speak, what religion you practice. Talent is talent, and excellence is excellence. And art is one of those things that you can get into every community, and you can, if everyone has access to it, then no one is left out of the conversation. No one is left out of the power of creation and the creative process. I hope that I can convey to them the power of the arts and what it is doing for their community, in particular their district, the people that they serve, that we're using arts in an amazingly magical way to unite people. I think a lot of times, art is about bringing people together in celebration of themselves and each other. And when you can invite the most diverse population in the country, Irving, Texas has one of the most diverse populations in the country. When you can use the arts to bring people together, to teach them about themselves and each other, then the whole community becomes more powerful. Art is like water. It lifts all boats the same way. So if you can really get arts and really work arts in your community, you're lifting everybody up at the same time. For me, art, it can be confusing to some people, but it's really a dialogue with yourself. When you look at a painting or when you experience someone performing, that's a dialogue with you and them and what they're doing and how does that affect you. I think it teaches everybody a lot about themselves, even when it's not about them specifically. I think it's all about stories. I mean, yes, when you advocate, there's a lot of numbers and there's a lot of laws you have to remember and there's a lot of all of this facts. But really, when you're talking to an elected official, what they want to know is, how is this affecting the people back home? So what you really need to be equipped with is stories. How is it working? How is it not working? What more do you need? All of that will relate to an elected official in a really powerful way, because you're not talking about facts and figures. You're talking about people. You're talking about the people that elect them and send them to Washington, D.C., or to the Texas State House, wherever they are. So it's really the stories about how art connects to a community, how it unifies a community, how it lifts a community, how it empowers people. Those stories can do more, I think, than numbers, or remembering what the law said, or how much more money we're advocating for the National Endowment for the Arts. All of that is really important. Those stories that tie what we do to people on the ground, to the people in our community, and how we are uplifting them and how we are empowering them, that will connect with elected officials more than anything else. And Americans for the Arts give voice to such a very powerful tool. The arts have the ability to change lives, change minds, empower, just the power of the arts. Americans for the Arts speaks for all of us when it advocates for, when it talks to elected officials about the importance of funding, about the importance of access. It's really about access and making sure that the elected officials know the power of art and the fact that it needs to be in the hands, it needs to be available to everyone. And the more people we can get involved in the arts, the greater the country is going to be, the greater each industry is going to be, the greater everything is going to be. So I'm a member of Americans for the Arts because Americans for the Arts speaks for me in situations where I am not in the room. They are advocating for the work that I do. They are advocating for funding for the work that I do. And they're advocating for the people I work with.